So over the past 2 weeks, I've had the pleasure of using the new Sony Xperia Z2 and the Oppo Find 7a. Both these phones are very, very powerful smartphones, basically boasting some of the highest specs on the market right now. And I thought since I have both of them and I've been using them, I put them together to give you guys a comparison of the features that they both offer, just to give you guys a clear insight when you do choose to buy either one of the phones. So if you guys want to see that, stay tuned. But if you're interested in the performance of both these phones, we did a ultimate smartphone showdown. They can watch by clicking the link below. It has basically an in-depth look into the performance of all of the smartphones, including the Oppo Find 7a, the Samsung, the HTC One M8, and a whole bunch of others. So let's begin. Both phones are similar in body size, but there are a few differences. The Sony Xperia Z2 has a 5.2-inch 1080p IPS LCD display powered by Sony's X-Reality engine with a pixel density of 424 pixels per inch. Additionally, on the front, it has a front-facing stereo speakers and a 2.2 megapixel front-facing camera. The Oppo Find 7 has a slightly larger 5.5-inch 1080p IPS LCD screen with a pixel density of 403 pixels per inch and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. On the bottom of the Oppo, there is a small notification light which pulses blue when the users get new mail or a new notification. When it comes to the build quality, there's a big difference, as the Xperia 2 is built of solid piece of aluminum and shatterproof and scratch-resistant glass, covering both the front and the back of the device, unlike the 7a's plastic body, which gives the Z2 a more premium feel. Now, that isn't to say that there aren't some benefits of having a plastic body. As you can see, the Oppo Find 7a has a removable back, allowing access to the user replaceable battery. And if the back of the phone gets scratched, it's very cheap and easy to replace the back panel. Both phones have all the buttons located on the left and right side of the phones. On the Oppo, there is a power button on the left side and a volume rocker on the right side of the device. The Z2 has a few key differences. The power button and the volume button are placed on the right side along with a dedicated camera button, which is very useful when taking pictures. Also, since the Z2 has a glass covered back that is not user accessible, the SD card slot is located on the right side under a water sealed cover. On the left side, there's a micro USB charging port and a SIM card slot and a dedicated dock connection that may be used with the docking station also offered by Sony. Both phones come with respectable cameras, starting with the Sony Z2. It has a 20.7 megapixel camera capable of recording 1080p at 60 frames per second and 4K at 30 frames per second. The Oppo has a 13 megapixel camera and that has the same video recording modes, but it does come with dual LED flash offering higher light output. Internally, both phones have the same 2.3 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processors, so they will be just as snappy, but the Z2 does have an edge as it comes with 3 GB of RAM and 3200 mAh battery, whereas the 7a only has 2 GB of RAM and a 2800 mAh battery. So the Z2 will most likely last a little bit longer, but it's not that big of a difference. Both phones come with 16 GB of internal memory, but it can be expanded up to 128 GB using the micro SD card expansion slot. But if you do decide to go that way, it'll cost you a lot of money, since 128 GB SD cards is very expensive, or micro SD is very expensive. Now, just to close it off, let's take a look at the best features of both phones, starting off with the Z2. It has the better build quality, and it's fully waterproof up to 1.5 meters below water. The front-facing speakers sound better than the Oppo's rear-facing speaker, and the Z2 offers a dedicated camera button to conveniently take photos. Now, the Oppo Find 7 has some great features, including its 5 megapixel front-facing camera, pulsing blue notification light, dual LED flash, and the fact that the back is removable, giving the users direct access to the battery. So as you can see from this video, both these phones stack up very similarly to each other. They have a lot of great features, but they are top-end, top-tier smartphones, so it's kind of expected from them. Now, personally, I found that the Sony Xperia Z2 was better suited for me just because I like the OS more. It's running a version of Android KitKat, and it just works really nicely. It's very smooth, fast, responsive, and I just like the overall look of the Sony's UI. Now, in terms of Oppo's Color OS, it's still very nice, but I found there was some glitchiness to it. If I go into an application, let's say Facebook or Instagram, try to tap on something or scroll down, it does completely opposite stuff to what I want it to do, and I found that to be a little irritating. I just find it's not as refined as it could be. They need to go back and just look at all the errors that are in there and bring out updates to solve these glitches, as I would put them. But other than that, they're both very, very nice smartphones. The Oppo does come out on top in terms of performance power, which again, if you guys want to see that, make sure to watch the Ultimate Smartphone Showdown. But that's basically it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to share it with your friends. It helps this channel out quite a bit. And also subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.